Welcome back, guys, to another episode right here at Central Oregon Shenanigans. Today we're working on a 2004 Ford F-350 with the 6.0 Power Stroke diesel motor in it, and we have got a bad injector. Now, the rest of the injectors in this truck are pretty healthy besides this one little finicky injector. It took me a minute to figure out which one was bad. You can't just scan it with just any ordinary scanners, but most of them are, it's going to be a soft code. I use a program called Torque to look at the soft codes because the check engine light actually never came on it, but it was stored in the computer as a cylinder contribution failure, I do believe it's called, cylinder number 2. As you can see, there's a couple different problems going on. We're going to address the cylinder contribution balance number 2 with a new injector. The powertrain ones have to do with the EGR valve, which we're not dealing with today, but we're going to come back to that probably after next weekend. I just want to make this run a little bit better to get through this next week, and then we're going to have to dive into turbocharger and EGR valve issues. This still has all the emissions crap on it, unfortunately. So with that being said, guys, the first step you want to do in placing a number 2 injector is going to be the easy side. I call the driver's side the easy side. Passenger side is a little bit more in detailed. If you've got one of those, maybe I don't have a video on file to point you in the right direction. There's a lot more involved. There's good videos out there how to get to this side, but this side's going to take a lot longer to do an injector on versus a driver's side injector. Number 2, we're going to start by draining the degas bottle. Some guys just pull the degas bottle away enough to get the valve cover off. I don't like doing it that way. These parts are getting old and brittle. So what I like to do is actually get the degas bottle out of my way. Coolant recovery, degas. So by draining that, you're going to come down here. You're going to get yourself a clean bucket. Make sure it's clean. There's nothing at the bottom. I started to drain a little bit of coolant, and then I stopped myself because I wanted to show you guys the full process of doing this. And we're just gonna drain it down a little bit, and we're gonna reuse this coolant. So that's why you want a clean bucket. Coolant's expensive. Crack your cap. It'll help it go a little faster. Cap right there. All right, guys. Next trick. Got the degas bottle drained down. We're gonna get this clamp off. I think by now I'd actually have a pair of pliers that would you might have to twist. Oh man, might have to twist a little bit, wiggle that back and forth. Don't break your degas bottle. Be patient with it. So you're gonna take that bottom one off, okay? Then we're gonna go around and take that one off, which I've already done. Flat blade. Maybe one of those weird, whatever they're called, clamps. I'm not a big fan of these clamps from the factory, guys, but you know what? Studies have been done on the clamping force is better than an actual tightened down clamp, believe it or not. It's really interesting to me, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Can you really believe anything you see on the internet nowadays? All right, guys. 2 8mm are next. I normally like to use the top cowling, plastic cowling, each one of these slots on the Super Duty to line out my bolts, take them out. You can do it any other way you want to. Sandwich bags, jars, lay them out on the workbench. That's how I do it, just like this up here. Okay, now that those 2 are out, you got all your lines disconnected. Pull your degas out, coolant recovery, boom. I go after the battery next, guys. You can disconnect both sides. I think I have to disconnect both sides, depending on how you want to do it. They say with taking the FICM out, you should disconnect the batteries. Be safe, disconnect both batteries, positive on that side, negative and positive. And then go ahead and pull. Your keeper is not even in this one, and I'm gonna fix that while we're in here. But we're gonna go ahead and pull this secondary battery out so that we can access the air filter a little bit better. So I'm not gonna show you that. It's 2 8mm from the factory. If your batteries cables have been broken, they might be something else, but these are 8s, and normally you gotta use a deep socket on them. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and take this air box out. You're gonna want to unplug your air map. I think that's how it's called, map sensor. Then you got your air filter down here. I don't know if it's off camera or not. I cannot touch that camera, but there's the gauge that tells you if your air filter's clogged or not. Carefully unplug that one. Pop that out. All right, and then I like to take these loose, all of them. This upper one, there's 2 of them. By the turbo, they got to come out anyway. This whole rubber piece does. This flexi tube. There's 2 bolts on this bracket here. I'm trying to remember if I take this. This has been a while since I've done this. I'm not gonna mess with those yet. We're just messing with the air filter. Take that loose here, guys. And down here, another hose clamp. Get that out of your way. Some guys leave this on. You can do however you want to do it. That's the way I like to do it, though. I like to take it off. That's out of my way. Come on, line out of my way. Pop that up and out, just like that. Boom, out we go. One piece, guys, one piece. It's going after the Fickum. You've already got the 2 fronts. When we took that bracket off, there's gonna be 2 back bolts. Mine's an 8, only has 1 of the 2, and it's an 8mm that I'm unscrewing right now. Different years of different 6 liters have, and different shops losing bolts. You're just gonna have to hunt around and find the best. I've noticed with Fickums, they've just been changed a lot, and they're missing a lot of the factory parts. I think these are supposed to be. I don't think they're supposed to be 8s. I think the last time I did one was like 11 or a 10. But I've got just a little quarter drive, and it's tedious, as you can see. I'm gonna bring you back in when I get this 8 out of the back here, and that'll be the Fickum will be released. But we got to get those plugs, and we'll talk about that. As you can see, mine was on with only 1 of the 8, and then that side was just drooping, so the bolt fell out, or they didn't put the bolt back in from the shop prior to whoever worked on this prior to me. All right, guys, so I'll get you on in here best I can get you in here. All right, so we're gonna lift the Fickum up carefully off the mounting studs. All right, and then you're gonna reach your hand underneath here. You're gonna get that first one, and you're gonna pinch and pull. Now, that one came easy. Sometimes you gotta wiggle a little bit. You just gotta be easy on her. Now, you don't wanna break your injector down here, so you just gotta be careful. You break one of those plugs off right there, you're gonna be replacing more than 1 injector, because that's not the one we're going after. All right, next one. Well, these are getting so old, guys. These trucks are getting up there. All right, I'm gonna take my index finger and try to push on this one. No, I'm not feeling it. The camera might be in my way. I'm just rocking the... I can't see what I'm doing. Where's my flashlight? So what I'm gonna do, now the light's blocking the camera. And then you put this, and then the camera blocks the light. All right, so I'm gonna get under here, right here, put the flat blade in. I'm gonna push with my finger, and I did that really gently. I just couldn't get the leverage with just my hand. Okay, the next one, I'm just gonna push the button, and it popped out. Boom, got the Fickum. Looks like this one's a remanufactured one of, God, it's old, 2010, August of 2010, so it's been in there for a minute. Interesting. Okay, go ahead and set this on the workbench. Don't drop those. Okay, now Arizona can be opened up. I like to start with the bracket first, guys, for the Fickum. So you can see right here on this one, that bolt right there is a 10mm. I'm gonna go get a socket, but I'm just gonna check it real quick. Maybe I'm not checking it real quick, but yeah, those are 10s. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's a 10. So we're gonna get 10. I'm gonna get my DeWalt set up maybe where I can zip. But let's take the brackets off real quick. Alrighty guys, so the two brackets for the FICM I took off, they are 10mm, the same nuts that were holding down the FICM. So I lined all those nuts up right there together. Start to finish here, what we've taken apart: front bracket, back bracket. One of the valve cover bolts decided it wanted to come along for the ride when I pulled out the trying to get that top nut off. I'm gonna try to address that while it's out and actually get it free. I don't want to put it back together like that because in the past I've accidentally stripped out one of the bolts into the rocker box, and we don't want to do that. The next goal is going to be the fun part, getting the valve cover off. Each one of these bolts needs to go back to the same spot they're at. So I'm going to try something new this go around instead of going back on taking a picture of it right now. This one's got studs on all four bottom. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's got the first one on the top doesn't, second one does, third one doesn't, fourth one does not, and then the back one had one, and I took that one out already. All right, all 12mm bolts, guys. Just gonna lift this wiring harness up and over, lift this up, and this out, nice and careful, like, oh, don't get got the gasket, dang it. That's your oil rail. And I got to remember what size these are. We're going to take the oil rail off next. For all those little bitty hex T-bolts. We're going after number 2, which is this one right here. Alright. Alright guys, T30. And yeah. Just gonna loosen all these up by hand, and then I think I'm gonna zip them out with a power tool of some sort. Yeah, these shouldn't be over tightened, guys, but yeah, you're gonna go through and undo all these. I don't know how many there are, but there's a bunch of them. Don't get impatient and take your time. Don't break any of these off. That one was loose. That's not good. High pressure oil leaks aren't good, guys. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Those back ones are going to be impossible with this big setup that I've got on this wrench. I just knocked dirt. That's cute. Next up, just pop the oil rail up, guys. Front and back. Set it over to the side. Oh, see, I'm getting some. Dang it. You can let it drain for a minute off to the side, or if you don't care, pull it off. Or not. I forgot you gotta take the stand. It's been a minute. You gotta take the standpipe from this side out. All right, coming in for the standpipe. Dum-dum. I'm actually going off of memory, and it's been a while since I've had an injector out of one of these 6 liters. Pull that standpipe out. That's a standpipe. I want to keep that somewhere clean. That one looks like this has been open before. All right, now I'm gonna make my mess. All right, now keep fighting this. We're gonna pull this clip right here on the number 2 injector. We're not gonna lose it. Set it up here with the rest of the parts. Somewhere nice and safe. Don't drop anything into your engine at this point, guys. You want to be careful. Okay. Now we're gonna unplug it. Just unplugged it right there, guys. All right. Now we've got to get this thing through the rocker box. To do that, it's a socket, and I gotta look up, because I can't remember for the life of me what size socket you gotta use to get that through. Alrighty guys, so if my memory serves me right, it's the top of a 18 socket. You push it down. It's one of these. Then you push down to pull it through. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's a 19 socket. I know it's one of the sizes of sockets. Definitely not a 19. It's gotta be an 18. I'm gonna have to Google. Alrighty guys, Diesel Tech Ron video. Rest in peace, my friend. If you don't know who I'm talking about, he's one of the original OGs of 6.0 videos on YouTube. But anyway, so he says 18 or 19 millimeter socket, and then you just press it down around here, get her through. I was on the right track. I remember, just can't get this one to behave itself. All right, guys, stepping up to a T40 now. Take out the keeper. Off camera, I ended up I got the 18 on that, got it where it was just giving me some problems, and then I just took the back of a screwdriver and I whacked it, and it popped through the head or the rocker box there. So we're good to go. You're gonna take this keeper out. Alrighty. Injector's out. Alright, so I got the high pressure oil rail. Got the injector out over here. There's your keeper call that keeps the injector from flying out of your engine while it's running. And this was our bad injector. I'm not sure of what failed with this guy. It was intermediate on and off. It'd run great. Once you go, like, you'd have to take it out and just hot rod the hell out of it. Cold starts where it was hit and miss. Alrighty guys, so we're 50% of the way there. We're going on day 2 now. I threw in the towel yesterday after getting the injector out. And today is day 2, and we're gonna be putting the injector back in. You follow, repeat your steps backwards, but you need to check torque specs. I am not gonna tell you what the torque specs are. They vary from year to year. So Injectors Direct is where .com is where we got this injector. Before the video is over, I'll let you know what I think. Just, getting it in there, if it runs smooth, it runs better. But yeah, not sponsored by them. It looks like when you buy an injector, you get a koozie, a really nice cut sticker. And in here, we've got one injector that is a stock. This is a stock OE remanufactured injector. The packaging's awesome. The box quality is awesome. I'm a big fan of, packaging and quality and customer service. It's all good. It's all there. The injector ran $200, I think it was, with a $100 course, so $300 total. I got to send them this piece of junk back and get $100 back. I'm guessing that's on the directions. But so the first step is I'm going to read the directions that came with this injector to see if there's anything that's different from when it's been a while since I've done an injector. Most time, you just throw the injector back in there with the collar, torque it down, and then go from there. So let's go. So guys, there's a rubber cap that came on the tip of the injector right here. I took that off. I've got the collar in my hand. We're gonna go ahead and just carefully
lower the injector into place. I've got it backwards, dumb. I'm upside down on a topside creeper right now. If you don't have one, they're nice. All right, guys, I've oiled up all the O-rings. Really important. Once again, we're just gonna tuck that in there. Oh, I got it upside down again. Look what you're doing, James. Okay. All right, we're in. We are in. Okay. Looks good. Now the injector's not all the way down yet. We're gonna take our T4, was it a T40 yesterday we were using? All right, guys, we're gonna screw this in. Just the ratchet here, the end of a ratchet. See how it's pushing that injector down. Looking good. And then I'm gonna snug it up, and then I'm gonna go get the torque specs, what I think this year, make, model, everything. Now, if you had head studs, this would be a stud, and this would be a stud, and not a bolt. Okay, that's snug down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and torque it down. Is that the click? I torqued mine to 28 foot-pounds. Do your own due diligence. Do your own investigations. A lot of guys think it's 24. You want to make sure you get a good crush on that copper. So that's why I did mine 28. A lot of builders do 28. Online is going to tell you to 24. Do what you want to do. All right, now I'm going to clean the surfaces of the reusable gasket for the O-ring on the valve cover real quick off camera. You want it to look like that, not like that. So I recommend to do an oil change after doing your fuel filters, all that good jazz, after doing injectors. Your injector back in. And then you're gonna want to put the clip on without dropping it. You can put the clip on after the valve cover's on, or put it back on. I don't remember, oh, there it is. There's my metal clippy-doo. I'm gonna go on the wild side and put that back on right now. Give this, oh, see, it didn't plug in. All right, there's a, that means I don't got the plug in all the way in. That can still be on there. I gotta remember, there's a trick to this, and I can't remember what it is, but this isn't pushed all the way in yet. You don't want to break this. You break this plug in and you're up shit's creek without a paddle again. There it goes, popped in. Now, I don't think I've got the clip set right. There, she clipped in. Yep, we're nice and tight and snug now, guys. I might have not had enough oil on that O-ring on the top one. I did put oil on the O-rings, but I might have forgot to do the top one. But yep, that is an injector installed. All right, guys, now on with the oil rail. Gotta be careful. Get it in here. Here, did you hear it lock in? Boom. Now, back on with all your little bitty bolts. I like to just get them all fingered in there, and then we'll tighten them down. This is a good chance that, I don't know if you want to do this or not. These normally don't fail too often, but it's a good time to do dummy plugs and standpipes. Mine look good. going back in. Alrighty guys, valve cover's back on. I'm gonna go ahead and put the brackets for the Fickum back on real quick, and the nuts for the dipstick there. No real way to torque these, just don't overdo them because they will pull threads. I've had it happen in the past. You get these damn things too tight, you'll start pulling threads out of the aluminum rocker boxes. Alright guys, so real quick, Fickum went back on. There's not any good tips on getting those plugs to clip back in. You just got to take your time and play with them. Fickum's on. Got this air intake tube on. I'm going to put the air box in next, and then we're going to put the degas bottle in, batteries. I mean, just reverse, like I said, reverse process of how we described on how taking it apart. And you'll get it back together. Just take your time. Alrighty guys, moment of truth. We're all done, buttoned up, batteries are connected. So you've got to remember, you drained fuel out of that one injector and you drained a whole oil rail out of one side. So it's gonna start like shit. I'm gonna pop the door open. Moment of truth. More power. That's for dang sure. Get it open to overdrive. Car gonna pull out in front of me. Alright, till the next video guys, hit that like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you here at Central Oregon Shenanigans.